it's Mary, and today we're going to be doing my May wrap-up and my June TBR. So without further ado, let's get started. So first we're going to start with my May wrap-up, and I didn't read a lot this past May, but I am going to show you what I did read. So the first book that I read this month was Ruin and Rising, which is the third book in the Grisha trilogy, and this is by Leigh Bardugo. And I just did not like this book so much. I felt like the story could have gone in a completely different direction. I loved the characters and I loved the setting and I loved the original story, but when it got to the ending, I did not like the ending. The next book that I read was one that I actually need to put back on my Goodreads because I actually read this one to my mom on our way down to Sarasota, Florida, and that would be The Lightning Thief. I finally got her to read it. Actually, I don't think she's read the last 2 chapters, but I'm considering myself reading this book this past month, and I always loved this book. This is like my favorite book ever. It's just one that I can always pick up and I can read from any point in the book, and I know exactly what's happening because I've read it that many times. And I love the characters, and it's just where the whole Percy Jackson world starts. The next book that I read this summer was also from the Percy Jackson world, and that would be Demigods and Magicians by Rick Riordan. And these are the 3 short stories about the from the Kane Chronicles and the Percy Jackson series, and it's the crossovers. And so the Kanes meet Percy and Annabeth, and they fight stuff, and it's awesome. And I just say, if you've read both of those, go pick it up because it's amazing and awesome. So do it. And I always love these because you get to see more of the outside life of the characters than just from the main storyline. So the next book that I read this month was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. And as I've said before, I just have this black book. So I'll have a picture up here. And I really liked this one. I did find that it was harder to get into at the beginning than when I originally read the Mortal Instruments series for the first time. That one I was just able to jump right into. And this one, it was a little slower going at the beginning, but I ended up really liking the characters, and I can't wait to read the next one. The next book that I read sent my all of my notifications just blew up when I put out my review of this book, and it's gotten 4,000 views so far, and I am astounded. Like, I am blown away that my review of this book got so many, and I have got so many followers after this. At the beginning of this month, I started out with 33 subscribers. By the end of the month, I'm at like 122, and that's taking place within these past 3 weeks, and that's insane. And that would be The Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan, which is the first in the next branch off series from the Percy Jackson series. So it goes Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and then the Heroes of Olympus, and then this series takes place after the Heroes of Olympus, and Zeus has basically blamed Apollo for everything that happened in the Heroes of Olympus and has made him human again, which in the myths he's been human twice before. And so now he is human again, and he has to go through all these trials in order to regain his godhood, and it is insanely funny. And the chapter titles are in haikus, so I just suggest picking this one up, and you can definitely read this one without needing to know the other characters, but the world is so much easier to get into if you start with Percy Jackson. And finally, the last book that I read this month was Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, and this is definitely one of my favorite summer reads, and I loved it even more the second time around because I read this one for the first time, I think it was last summer. Just so, so good. Definitely go pick this one up. I did a review on it, not my best work, but feel free to check that one out and leave me a comment if you liked this book. So yeah. I also began reading in May The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which I think I ended up loving more than I loved Since You've Been Gone. And I finished it today, so it's technically in my June section, It's just like, here's my little transition book. There you go. Because he always got one of those. So, The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. So good. Pick it up. It does take place after Since You've Been Gone. You don't have to read them in that order, but you do get a little hint from that last book as to what happens what happens in here. So I suggest reading that one first, but you really don't have to because it doesn't affect the storyline any. But yeah, so good. So now we're going to move on to my June TBR, and this is probably June and July, honestly, but I'm just going to push it all together, and then next month, whatever I haven't read and whatever library books I've checked out at the time will go into that one. So I guess we'll start with my library books. So the first book that I'm going to show you, I'm not going to read them in any particular order, is I'm going to start the selection. I have a couple of people who have told me how good it is, and I've heard a lot of people say how bad it is, and I'm just going to give it a shot for myself. I mean, it's pretty short, so yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. Because why not try it for yourself, right? Gotta experience it for yourself. The next one that I'm going to read is Infinite and In Between by Carolyn Mackler, and I am interested in this one. I'm trying to try out some more contemporary reads instead of just my fantasy reads that I've been doing a lot lately. So yeah, Infinite and In Between, and I've read one other of her book, I think, and I liked it, so I am definitely going to give this one a shot. And now we're going to go back into my fantasy, which we're going to start off with Patrick Ness's Chaos Walking series, and The Knife of Never Letting Go is book 1, and I think that this is the third time that I have borrowed it from the library, and I just have not gotten around to picking it up. And I love Patrick Ness's books, so I know I'm going to love it the moment I actually open it up. It's just a matter of when I actually do. And the next one on the list is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and it's got the really pretty black pages, and I've heard that the next one is going to have like red pages on the dyed ends there. And it takes place in the same world as the Grisha trilogy, and though I did not like the ending of the Grisha trilogy, I loved the world that it was set in, and so I'm hoping I'm going to like this one if I ever get around to picking it up again. Also this summer, I had decided that I was going to start reading the Infernal Devices series, and then review those, and then start the Mortal Instruments series and review those. So this month I have Clockwork Prince, and I still have the sticker on it. Is that going to come off? Close enough. So the Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, and that's the second one since I read Clockwork Angel last month. So I'm kind of fresh, and I'll be able to pick this one up hopefully soon. And then I also have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and I got the paperback version at McKay's. And it's got the cool spine, and I think I don't really like the cover, but I love the spine, and I think that's the only reason why I got it. But I'm going to reread this one and enjoy it, and I may not review them yet because I've got a lot in here, and the reviews take a lot longer to edit, and I don't really want to start a new book until I've finished editing and uploading the next review, so I don't know. I'm going to see if I can't get into a rhythm here this summer on my reviews. I still got more. I know, it's a lot. So this week, Rick Yancey is coming to Knoxville. So right now I am currently reading The Fifth Wave. I read it back in 2014, and it's 2016 now, and the next two are out. So I'm gonna try to get through the first two by Sunday, and then, which is The Fifth Wave, and then The Infinite Sea, which is a lot smaller than The Fifth Wave, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it. And then The Last Star came out last month, and he's doing the book signing for that one. I'm going to bring my trilogy, have him sign it, ask him some fun questions, maybe get it on my YouTube channel, maybe not, you never know, and hopefully get these read. And so on the same day that I splurged on those, I had gone to McKay's, and I found a really nice couple of editions of the Hunger Games trilogy sitting there on the shelves, so I grabbed those since I never owned them. And then I got home, and Jessie the Reader tweeted that they were going to be doing a Hunger Games book and movie review read-along this month. So I was like, why not add that to my list? So I've got these now, and we'll hopefully get some of those read. I know that I won't get all of them read. Even if I do get all of them read, they won't all be reviewed, but we'll see how it goes. That is my May wrap-up and June TBR, and if you've read any of these books, or if you haven't and you want to read them, let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. Click subscribe for more videos. I try to do one at least every week, but don't hold me to that because I'm still working on this thing. And I guess that's it for this video. Bye!